So what's up, son? Welcome back to the night. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But today we are going to react to all access goals. This is so episode 3 so 3. I don't know what that means. Okay. Showtime 3. So you know what is going to happen. Today is the what is it? It is the 25, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's Wednesday. When I look closely, it's Wednesday. And we have 5 solo days to decide. I think, I'm not sure. But this Sunday, the site is going to happen. And I'm really curious who is going to win. Zero or Woodley, what's correct there? I don't know. I know Woodley is a strong and has shot a lot of shots, but he has also lost his last 4 shots right. And I really believe that Jacob is training hard. But this I mean, he's going to beat Woodley. I don't know. I guess that's just to find out and see. So let's just jump right into this. I'm also going to pause a lot because it's a half hour.
This is the official press conference for Paul versus Woodley. Jake, I'll start with you. You said, I saw it in his eyes that he knew this right hand was going to crack him in his skull. You still stand by that?
I saw a man who just
The still stand by that? Nah. I think I'm going to say that. Nah. I think I'm going to shut that.
accepted a fight, mostly for a paycheck. Saw a man who doesn't really have fight left in him, and who will be finished and sent into retirement by YouTube Disney star boxer.
Keyword, you saw a man. Something you're a problem child. Don't fall for the BS. Oh, I'm Disney. Oh, this is the. No, this is a fight. So many people come up to me on a day-to-day basis. You gotta knock him the fuck out. I'm like, damn, what this dude done did to everybody?
So how about this? Let's make a new bet right now.
I just bet I'm gonna beat your ass. Bet.
If I beat you, you have to get I Love Jake Paul tattooed on you. If you beat me,
Oh, such a crazy guy.
I Love Tyrone Woodley tattooed on me, and you have to post it on your Instagram feed. Are you confident or not?
I think I should do it.
Bro, this guy has no confidence.
Bet.
Deal or no deal?
Deal.
That's kind of it, yeah. That's what I do. You need to decide for yourselves because you need to get the tattoo, not us.
Where you're gonna get the tattoo? Your arm, head, 15 minutes of fame. Enjoy it. Get those brand partnerships, get those deals, suck all the money you can out of this. It's your last payday. Welcome to hell, buddy.
You get knocked the fuck out.
Let's go.
Nah. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy.
So, access? Yeah. Oh.
They're part of a shifting landscape, a grand reimagination of what it means to be a fighter and what it means to fight.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think about. This all started 2 YouTubers boxing.
Sure, it's a little unusual. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. A pair of relative newcomers to a sport that's changing rapidly.
True.
And perhaps that's exactly the point.
And maybe that's also boxing news.
24-year-old Jake Paul started out as a social media sensation.
Clearly it works.
A lifelong disruptor.
Huh?
Let's go! Got your hat, baby!
Who turned millions of followers into an unlikely boxing career. Coming to headline a pay-per-view blockbuster in only his 4th pro bout.
We gonna win big on Showtime.
That is, he can do that because he has the followers.
But this new wave of boxers can be any kind of fighter. Like 39-year-old Tyron Woodley, an MMA legend, destined for Hall of
I am excited for the fact that I really want to see KSI versus Jacob. I really want to see that.
immortality. who would like to show Paul what a real clash looks like.
You don't take a black man hat when he ain't got a haircut.
On Sunday, August 29th in Cleveland, Ohio, these men will meet in a sport they arrived at through circuitous paths. Each desires to define themselves, and both seek to redefine a sport.
I'm making the most valuable boxer belt, and I'm giving it to myself.
Understanding that what happens next remains, at its core, a fight.
Look at Oscar Anderson, we hakken is zeker losers. I think he's going to say somebody else is going to quit. You know, and that is another house. Yeah, I think so. And it's another nice house, Jesus Christ.
Oh, everyone comes up to me and wants me to knock you out because nobody likes you. Like, what's with that? That bothers me because I don't think he wants that to be his legacy, to be hated. It's a role. It's like acting in a movie. And that's how I kind of consider it. And it can be uncomfortable as the mom. I've been told by...
But hey, he is goddamn none of that, so... I don't know. I sometimes hate it also because just how I speak, I don't know why, but I don't give such 100 people hate me. If that little thing like this, come at me. I don't care. I don't fucking care. If the hate little thing like this, shut it like that.
Chef that he likes his 2 eggs over easy and then an omelet. Like, oh, okay. I think he wants to turn that hate against Jake Paul. He wants to prove people wrong and eventually get there and be admired. And I think he will.
Okay. Well, the one thing that is interesting to see, he kind of changed in his, he kind of knows, kan je zeggen jonge human being because kan je zeggen met een TikTok like I like song with the person that you admire and zeker say yeah right so well done so I think he is kind of mature so I like to see that.
I'm looked at as the villain, but I don't care about people's perception of me. I'm purposely misunderstood. Like, I lean into it. I think that's why people want to see me get knocked out.
I think my mom makes the best breakfast. Nothing like a good home-cooked meal.
At least Jake Paul can admit it. It's not that the world fails to understand him. It's that he rarely shows his true self to the world. That's revealed at home, where Jake and his brother Logan went from jocks to teen stars to multi-millionaires. But now the non-traditional path continues as Jake embarks on a new, more inspired career.
Good morning once again to you, Jake Paulers. Getting up in the morning.
I need to say though, I like Zelico now laying on the grass. Not gonna lie.
Saying good morning, Jake Paulers on a video camera to me wasn't interesting anymore. It's been 4 years boxing now. Anything is really possible. You hear that saying as a kid, it's like cheesy. Anything's possible if you set your mind to it. But to be honest, like, it's kind of real.
Yeah. It's really hard. It is. Puerto Rico.
I haven't ever stopped peaking in boxing yet. I get better and better and learn something new with each session. That's just the way we've always ran our camps. When the lights are on, under all the pressure, that I'm gonna be able to handle it. I haven't had a, long fight yet, but I'm prepared for.
It's first fight. That was a long fight, but that was a close fight.
An 8-round war.
On the bell. My whole life is based around disrupting the status quo, doing it differently. People say impossible, I say let's find out.
Yeah, same. That's why I choose to name my channel Different Beast, because everybody says I'm different. Sure, let's roll with it. Let's name my channel Different Beast. Easy. Let's use that name like they are currently on something together.
The transformation from YouTube to boxing sure seemed impossible. But for a relative novice to continue ascending, Jake needs the cocoon of a highly functioning team. Enter veteran boxer BJ Flores.
Good shape. Step on it. Jake does believe this is where he's supposed to be, doing what he's supposed to be doing, boxing, training and working his ass off. In his mind, there's nothing I or you could tell him differently. This is what he's supposed to be doing. We got a very experienced team. Jake's surrounded himself with a lot of guys who can really help him get to where he wants to go. Jacob Chavez was my trainer for 12 years. J. Leon Love, chief second in our corner, excellent pro, fought some of the best guys in the world.
When it's under them lights, you can be fully ready.
This team demands excellence and perfection, and I think that's why I've been able to grow so fast in this sport.
Isn't that also the same thing as songs? You need songs around that not only they say, yes, that's good, yes, that's amazing, that's so good, not only also songs that are saying like, isn't little could do, like, or change this or change that.
Watching Paul topple other non-boxers raised questions about his credentials. But his answer came in the form of a stunning knockout over Ben Askren, a former MMA and wrestling champion, helping Paul win over some of his critics.
I think with every fight, my confidence grows and grows and grows, but I'm gonna be honest, like, I've only had a couple fights, so, for like a couple minutes. It's pretty crazy the level that this has gotten.
Good, Jake. Very, very good today. Sharp. This is only the beginning. This is not the pinnacle of what we're trying to get after. We're not saying the guys Jake beat are great fighters. They're not. They're whatever. They just got us to the stage where we're at now.
What you gonna do to him, baby? Jake Paul will knock out the.
But after that, side to side, I'm not going to side against just clear laterals. I'm never going to side against other people that are not longer. They are still not a high tier.
Barris, Tyron Woodley, August 29th, live on.
Let's go. Let's go. Say it again. Say it again.
I will knock out defeat and embarrass Tyron Woodley, August 29th.
Let's go. Let's go, champ. Let's go.
I heard him say
Let's
it
go.
before.
Let's go.
For me, I've manifested pretty much everything I've had, set goals, envisioned it, and played it thousands of times over and over in my head. Mentally, if you can connect your brain waves to envisioning the fight, seeing the victory, seeing the exact knockout, knowing exactly how you're going to perform, and you do that every single day, then your brain is already ready for it on fight night. And you already know what's going to happen, and reality just has to catch up. So, look, Paul, that's when you get your miles in.
Every day I look back at what we've been able to accomplish, and I lead with gratitude, being two kids from Ohio who didn't have this, didn't have the world essentially in the palm of our hands and able to do what we want with it. Like, it's a very blessed life. I think he's gonna knock out Tyron Woodley in round one.
That's a fair.
Like round one fight, Jake Paul to the moon.
Yeah. I think so too. I was young, wild, reckless, famous kid with money. It was going to be a dead end for me. And boxing was the thing that pulled me out, gave me purpose, gave me routine, and made me become the best version of myself. It sounds like the cliche boxing movie, but it's like, that's really how it is.
Damn Karate Kid himself, Wonder Boy. That was a weird ass fight. Best card UFC ever had. Sold out, arena, MSG, UFC title, first run.
Even MMA champions still envy Tyron Woodley, an icon from Ferguson, Missouri, who fought for 15 dominant years, ruling for 3 as the UFC's welterweight champ. And today, Woodley and Dean Thomas, his longtime mixed martial arts trainer, take a look back at his greatest hits collection.
Darren Till. This is the best walkout UFC history. What they say. People can come out breakdancing and flipping on it. Everybody was booing me. The whole crowd, boo, 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 and I didn't even hear it. I was playing the song Glorious off the soundtrack of Selma, Common, John Legend. It's a part of the song where Common goes, he said, that's why we walked through Ferguson with our hands up. I naturally just walked out like this at that exact moment in time, and everybody went crazy. That was my best UFC fight. It's my best MMA fight. I'm gonna tell you a funny ass story about this. He tried to get like a little frisky with me, and then he pushed against my face, and I just said, I bit his finger. Did you? I bit his finger in the fight. He said, oh, you bit me. I said, damn, dog, I'm sorry, man. I don't know why I did it. That's it.
Oh,
That chapter's closed.
That's kind of lekker. Echt kind of lekker to see. He has 16 years of fight behind him, and he's nothing to fight against Jake Paul. That's crazy. That's the song.
It's not that Woodley needed a bite fight to burst into boxing. It's that his UFC contract expired in March after tough losses to top opposition. Rather than accept defeat and retire, he sought out a new arena instead. And he's ready to deploy a transferable skill set.
You know, I feel like my career in mixed martial art was it, you know, and it's not a closed chapter, but boxing is something that really can just show who I am. I can go after this and I can be at the top of wrestling, be at the top of mixed martial art, and now I can be at the top of boxing.
New flows, I've been trying to get my mind right. Put my folks and my family in
Mixed martial art. Boxing is art. They call it a sweet science. So I feel like if someone's trying to restrict you from what brush you use and what canvas you own, that's because of their insecurity. I've always wanted to box.
Interesting.
Ready, Mike?
Just because Woodley is new to boxing doesn't mean he forgot how to strike. In fact, the power he unleashed on MMA foes became one of his trademarks. And now with a boxing...
But the one thing that also we saw with lang aansche, wanneer her in de eerste je gaan low on the ground and tackle people on the ground and the boxing that you need to stand up, you can't roll on the floor and you can't take what you see. He has power. Everybody knows that he has power, but it's so different.
Match only a few weeks away, he's training under Gerald Tucker. It's lost in translation.
Coming into it, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a challenge. I love challenges. Bringing an MMA fighter over into boxing.
Roll.
He's a sponge. He's a student to all combat sports. He probably got more passion for boxing than many fighters have. That's the biggest thing I see in him that's gonna take him to the top. Starting with this fight right here. He's training like he's gonna fight 12 rounds. He's gonna be in 12-round shape. Jake's gonna have to bring it, really bring it, to even last a few rounds. Good defense.
Goes to say, also goes to him, the latter shoot, how did you say that? The latter shoot on the last to make your opponent, because if you do that, you will knock the shot out. Yeah.
GT is a genius, I'm gonna be real. Everything he says has a reason. I'm gonna execute everything he told me, so when I get done, I'm empty. I did everything.
Roll, pull, slip.
I want to show Ferguson, St. Louis, and really, this is global now. So I want to show people around the world that you can really get it in, and you can do multiple things. You can be creative at all.
Back it back.
I think also that zegt altijd. He went from YouTuber to from this start to YouTuber to boxing.
I'm naturally talented, gifted, naturally athletic.
I did not need to cross that, but okay.
Naturally powerful, naturally fast. Growing up, I played pretty much every sport. Football, baseball, basketball, lacrosse, track, cross country. I was doing it all. That's something people tend to forget is like how athletic I am, and I'm also just a really hard worker, and I show up every single day, do every single thing right. That's what has made me sharp.
The walls of the gym where Paul trains in Puerto Rico tell the story of a place that knows how to box. To consider Paul more of a contrast is to ignore the similarities, the work, and the skill that connect the men on that wall to each other.
True.
With history serving as spiritual inspiration.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Good.
I know that this is gonna be a war. The first dangerous, real person with knockout power who can box that I'm going up against. I mean, this is a 5-time UFC world champion.
Nice shot.
But Tyron's got more pressure on him because when he gets hit with that first 1-2 and he's seeing sideways, that's when he's gonna have his own moment and just crumble.
This is where champions are made. Tyron's not doing this.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze.
Woodley don't know what he's walking into. I mean, he's gonna see a guy who everyone portrays as the prankster, you know what I'm saying? But this guy's a hard-working animal.
That's something I asked to. Zeker in de hard werken.
Work. Champions are built in the dark.
Every day out here is harder than a fight.
Tough doesn't win in this sport.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Hell yeah.
If he wants to win this fight, he's gotta be smart, not tough.
3,
I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Chill. Okay. Okay, nice. I think I saw to learn how to read and write. I think I'm not sure. I think so. I'm not sure.
You know what they always say? If you want to be the best, you gotta be the best.
Good.
Don't let a day at the beach change the calculus. No matter the age, whether 39 or 24, recovery is a must. And on Sunday,
Oh yeah, and also recovery for the muscles.
29th, two unlikely boxers will see just how much work the other put in.
I've been doing ice baths now for 4 years, since even my first amateur fight. It's a necessity if you want to push your body to the limits every single day. The mental sword. This is sharpening that inner warrior. I think these little details and little extra small things are what make the difference. Recovering faster, being able to train harder. Where's the time at?
4:46.
Let's go. Good day. Good day. Woo.
Ayan.
So that was the beat selecting process. Now we got 6 beats that we feel like.
Right. Should it focus on boxing after that work on music? Or are I just in the wrong?
We can do something with. Goal is to knock one out for sure.
That's a nice to do.
We need to sell dreams and get streams.
Even fighters must find passions outside of hand-to-hand combat.
That's true, but
For Tyron Woodley, the studio provides that needed distraction. Even if there's always a critic close by.
Well, you got to go in the other room with Robin. We might make our hardest verse and you background.
I'm trying. Let's go here.
No disrespect.
Can I dip in every now and again? All right.
Not every now and then, but you get 3 passes total per song.
Okay, well
So choose them wisely.
don't shut me down.
Let me hear what you did so I can hear how the vocals sound. Everyone's looking at me as an athlete trying music, not an artist using a different canvas to paint on. It became a healthy outlet, and now it's become another avenue for me.
It's not often that fighters speak of art over science. But Woodley sees more than one canvas to put his hard work to use.
看是说I'm going to make some articles. I'm going to show things at once, clothing, assistant. I'm doing assistant.
Way to work, way to work. Break that down, simplify it. We ain't gotta do too much. We don't waste no time. We don't need no rest.
With more than a decade of skin in the fight game, most fighters would think about slowing down. Tyron Woodley is not most fighters. His work ethic came from his mother, Deborah, his first influence in the art of defense.
My mom, growing up, she was tough. You know, my dad wasn't really around, so she taught us about love and support, and we support each other. And if you fight, we all fight. And if you come home and your family's in a fight and you didn't swing, you getting your ass beat. And she always was there. She always was pushing me, and we got that bond. That's something you could never break.
It's a long way from Ferguson to a pay-per-view fight of this magnitude. And without the sacrifices made by his sizable family, Woodley would not have erased the poverty that turned his early years into struggles.
Having my family around is everything, because if anybody really knows me, we grew up fighting. There was 13 of us in a 4-bedroom house. And it's funny that I'm the fighter. My sisters were vicious. All of them were fighting. They invested into me. I was the one that did wrestling camps. I was the one that got to do these other sports, and they had to sit back and watch. So now, when I go out there for my whole family. I feel like this is me showing gratitude for you guys sacrificing so that I can go out here and turn up. I see y'all. Everybody in camp. I'm in camp, you in camp. Mom in camp.
They ain't slowed down one bit. Same beat.
He old. He washed up. All I know is championship fights.
Feelings will fool you. You are the champ. And it's misunderstood a lot. But that's okay. That's when the fight rise up in me. They misunderstood Jesus. That's why I hum that little song. Oh, Lord, I want you to help me. Help me on my way.
That's okay. Congrats. Right, I'm just gonna show them. Working out of boxing and this is so annoying because it makes it more difficult to read.
The self-described problem child of the social media universe has a few solutions of his own to share. Paul recently launched a new charity, Boxing Bullies, hoping to instill self-confidence, leadership, courage, and turn those like him who picked on others into those who now support them.
Hey, Group 7, Jay.
Get on others to make it even stronger.
As a kid, I was a bully. You think you're funny, or you think the things you say to other people, like demeaning them, it makes you feel better. And
That's true.
it's like, damn, that probably stuck with them for the rest of their lives. And for
That's
that,
true.
I'm sorry, first and foremost. But when I started to get famous, I was getting cyberbullied across the whole internet. All my friends from high school attacking me, calling me names. I was like, damn, this is like hurtful. Like, this is weird. I don't like this. That has
And that's what other people feel.
stuck with me, you know. So, and it's always in the back of your head, even if you don't want it to be.
That's true. That's true. I need to do social media things. It's an issue of just a grant that isn't really doing social media, but it's posting a shit on social media to promote their own clothing or anything. They also got some hate here and there, and I also got some hate here and there. And it's not a shame to read it, and it's always straight and got us and like, damn, is it true? And I this or that, or is it, you know what I mean? It also ain't got us a but it also motivates you. It also motivates me to work harder and to let them see like if that isn't true. I can achieve anything in life if I work hard for it. And like I said, has to do, I think, like, take a call me this, I am this and that. Okay, I'm using that name that you call me, and I make a grand of it. DifferentBeast. That's all I can go.
On your hook. That's good. Go up, elbow up. And you don't lean forward. Boom, turn it over.
That's true. When you didn't show it, you got caught.
There's almost a responsibility on me to give maybe the kid watching at home through the TV screen the idea or the inspiration to become a world champion.
My guy's a beast. Okay, champ.
I had glasses on.
Helped and saved my life.
No. Just got the other guy.
Or the inspiration to become a world champion.
Yeah, he had not him, the guy, we saw that, he had just sunglasses on.
Boxing helped and saved my life. The sport can do the same for other kids out there.
Okay, we got some skills to pay the bills. Yeah! I was nervous at first, but it's all happening, and this is a dream come true.
With Jake, he's got a whole different type of audience. He kind of realizes that it's his responsibility, whether he likes it or not, to be a positive influence. Jake helps people out. Jake is one of those guys who can change your life, very quickly.
Let's go. Some young female fighters.
I think the journey that I'm on now is larger than life, and it's a chance and opportunity to really make a positive impact on this sport and make boxing one of the top 3 sports in the world for millennials and Gen Z. I'm going to use my voice, my platform, and try to fight for what I believe is right for all fighters and KO a bunch of people along the way.
For Paul, Sunday, August 29th is about more than him. The undercard features a female with a knack for delivering knockdowns. She's known as the real deal. To the uninitiated, that's Amanda Serrano, the Puerto Rican champion with 40 victories, a bevy of belts, and the support of Jake Paul.
I thought this was Logan it isn't.
It's time to make a different impact, and what fulfills me now is empowering and lifting other people up. She's one of the greatest female boxers in the history of the sport, 40-1, and is about to break the record for the most KOs.
Yeah, try and one.
Slip, weave.
She's a knockout artist, so I want to support other knockout artists and empower amazing fighters by putting them on my cards.
Good.
So it's an honor to have her here.
I don't care what it is, whether it's bowling or basketball or anything. I like Jake around champions. It's just it's a championship mentality, and it's.
Yeah, too, because he can learn from other champions.
It's good for him.
You have so much negativity towards you that you want to prove everybody wrong, and that's the thing with me too. Everyone always criticizes me. I'm a girl like that, but I go out there and I prove them all wrong. Well, actually,
that's what I'm trying.
My 11-year-old nephew, he's a very big fan of Jake Paul. He actually started liking boxing, even though I've been fighting for 12 years plus. He was intrigued, so he bringing in other viewers.
Wait, 12 years plus and have sorry. Well, sorry, 2 sides. That's a lot. Jesus Christ, 2. Well, not 2 a year. 3 or 4 years. Jesus Christ.
Into the sport, which is great.
I do know we're bringing more attention, we're bringing more eyeballs, we're bringing more younger kids. I think the future of boxing, you will see the Paul's impact.
I always dreamed of being on All Access.
We are different, we're entertainers, and I think that's what this sport maybe was lacking a little bit, was some sort of flair, some sort of breath of fresh air.
Kind of too, not gonna lie.
100% I'm putting the pressure on myself. A loss ends my career. That's the way I look at it, even if it's not true. My biggest fear is losing. That's what drives me every single day.
I've always been an ultimate underdog. I've always did everything people told me I couldn't do. Now I'm turning those obstacles to ashes, and anything that get in front of me getting roasted. Whooped his ass, and he should have known better to get in here. Now, if you want to do it again, we can do it again. Go get that. Okay. Go get that. Seal that deal.
Jake Paul will knock out defeat. And embarrass Tyron Woodley. August 29th.
It is no secret that boxing could use an injection of energy. A way to showcase the sport's beauty, its visceral nature, the violence and vulnerability required to step inside a ring.
What time is it? Showtime! Win! Anyone, anytime, any place! Winner! Anyone, anytime, any place! 1, 2, 3, win!
But maybe that energy can be bolstered by less traditional methods, by taking a sport with a grand tradition and infusing something different, new.
August 29th, Tyron's walking into hell. It's gonna be embarrassing in front of all of his MMA buddies watching.
I wish I could mute in real life. When you can mute somebody, you just do like that, because all it really is bumping gums. When I look at the fight, he don't stand a chance against me.
I think Tyron Woodley is a fantastic fighter. Jag går så Asgard. Väldigt överraskande opponent. I can go really good. And I don't know if they go also unless I don't really think so. But Tyron Woodley, as to how he starts to go, they go sometimes it is unrational. So yeah.
So here are two boxers who became just that, through different but equally unusual ways. And when an MMA legend who goes by the Chosen One meets a disruptor known as the Problem Child, they'll show a global audience that there's more than one way to fight.
Our team's better, our work's better, our plan is better, our talent is better, our talk's better, our outfits are better. We can't be beat on any level.
Jake, pack a lunch. Tell your coaches they set you up for failure.
Where you gonna make Willie get that tattoo at?
Right on his forehead!
YouTube king Jake Paul meets MMA legend Tyron Woodley on Sunday, August 29th. Only on Showtime pay-per-view.
The one thing that you can identify, right? Yeah, okay, but yeah, the really thing that you can see that is so different about the two sides is really go surrounding with talented boxers, talented speakers, great conversation that, and he will. He doesn't really learn something into it, and Tyron Woodley, he really learns something into it. It's interesting, and everybody has their own tactics how they like to do it, and that's fair, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm really interested in this side. I really don't know who is going to win, because if you are going to ask him, as a guy said, like, he's going to knock out Jericho, and he didn't. So yeah. Let's just see how it's going to turn out. I'm really excited to this. If you want to see more of this, I will react to others. Videos also if there is going more, I don't know, but yeah. Otherwise, if you want to see more, let me know down in the description, in the comments down below. Let me also know who the guy's strength is going to win. Is Jake Paul going to win, or is Tyron Woodley going to win? I would love to know, so let me know that down in the comments below, and I'm going to click and see you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you later. Bye.